Hey guys, welcome to Pellets and Pits. Today we just did our smoked pastrami. We did it the long route. We brined it for 10 days, we let it rest, and then we smoked it overnight. We just made some fantastic sandwiches out of it. And to be honest with you, spoiler alert, it's probably the best thing that we've made on the deck since I've been cooking. All right, to get started, this is a long process. We're gonna go the long version, 7-10 days, something like that. Some people go up to even 20 days. I'm looking at about 7 to 10 days, somewhere through there. Let's look at the ingredients really quick. We got our base for the brine. We got the pink salt. Notice that's not Himalayan pink salt, that's curing salt. There's a big difference. We have salt, brown sugar, and we have cane sugar, okay? So this is kind of like your catalyst for the base when it comes to corned beef / pastrami. If you want to use a pickle and spice, you absolutely can. I went the other route. I went everything from scratch. This is my first time doing it. I didn't want to hold back. I'm going out full bore. So this is what we got. Bay leaf, cinnamon sticks, black peppercorns, coriander seeds, mustard seeds, mace, ginger, and clove, garlic, and red pepper, okay? First things first, we need to get our black peppers, our black pepper, coriander, and cumin seeds. Let's throw some cinnamon sticks in there as well, and we're gonna start toasting those up. Just try to open those flavors. Just try to maximize every opportunity we can. We have a pot of boiling water here, and to that, we're gonna add sugar, brown sugar, salt. We're gonna hold off on that pink curing salt really quick. We're gonna add those bay leaves, that garlic, the red pepper, and the rest of those spices. All right, the wife just corrected me. I have black peppercorns, mustard seed, and coriander seeds. Hope that's good. All right, just toasting those up. You can see that releases some of the oils. Doesn't take long. This is basically 1/4 gallon. I'm just looking to add the liquid as much as possible, just to be able to dissolve all those salts and sugars, open up that garlic, the bay leaf, and all that stuff. Whew. Doesn't take long. You can smell those spices. I'm just gonna throw them on a little, hold these back for a second. And I want to give these a couple knocks. You can just smell it. And lastly, the cinnamon. All right, I'm gonna let this steep a little bit longer, and while that's steeping and just cooling down, we're going to trim the brisket. We have a USDA Prime brisket from Costco. Not a bad price, $4.49. Pretty good deal. All right, I'm not the world's greatest trimmer, so we're gonna skim through it really quick. Start with the brisket upside down. We're just gonna try to get all the hard fat off first. Maybe some of that silver skin. Make sure we're saving all that fat if we can, because all that can be rendered down to beef tallow or for burgers. Squaring up those sides, getting all that roughage off of there. All right, once it's somewhat trimmed, this is a little thin section over here, so I'm gonna start shaping it up. Remember, well, whatever gadget you're gonna decide to brine this in, this has to fit in. So if you're using a full pan, one of those tumbler pans like the collapsible ones, if you're using a plastic tote, whatever it is, this has to be able to fit into it flat. So just remember that when you're trimming. So this is a lot higher than this. So this is gonna be burned pretty good. Obviously, I'll save the rest for tallow and for burgers. Alrighty, our brisket is done. We're going to add some ice for the final stage, just to knock that heat off that brine. Let that go. I have a aluminum pan here. I think if we mush it up correctly, there we go. It should work out just like that. And right before it cools down all the way, I should have added it before I added the salt, the ice, and I just forgot, but it'll be fine. Pour that right in there. Pour the rest of that water in there. Oh, that looks like the perfect amount. Perfect amount. I was worried about how much coverage I would actually have, but it looks like it's going to be perfect. So this is the deal. We're going to put something on top of it. We're going to plastic wrap it. And this is the long process. Every single day, I'm going to come back in and I'll probably just flip the brisket. That's going to be able to stir the brine itself and make sure that we have no dry spots, which means basically it's hit the aluminum foil or hit your container and the brine doesn't have something to put in there. So I'm going to put a plate in there, which is going to be weight, and it's going to submerge it like this. And then I'm just going to flip it every day. So 7 to 10 days. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to do a little bit more research. Probably 7 days. Just because I don't know if I can wait 10 days. And then we'll go from there. All right, 10 days has passed. It's been a very long and slow 10 days. But let me show you what we got. Now we're talking about the rub. We have brown sugar, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder. We have crushed coriander seeds and coriander powder. We have crushed mustard seeds and dry mustard, cracked black pepper, and coarse black pepper. To that, we're just going to give this a mix. Every part of my body's moving. Alrighty, there we go. Notice there's no salt in there because of the brine. And that's a pastrami rub. Alrighty, so here we go. Found some tallow that I made in a mason jar that adds weight. That plate on there. Alrighty, we want to, oh, it's heavy. I guess we're going to absorb all that liquid. Take this out. I'm gonna throw away this brine. I'm gonna knock off all these berries and then rinse it off under the sink for a few minutes and bring it back out. Now that it's washed off, I've just been trying to dab it dry. I'm sure because of the amount of moisture that's in there, it's extremely hard to keep it dry. We have all that seasoning that we just created, and now it's gonna get a tremendous amount of seasoning. Don't be scared at this point. Kind of move that seasoning right there in the middle. And there we go. So now it's sitting on the bed of seasoning. Now the rest of that seasoning is going to go on top. So the point is all this seasoning, all of it, is going to try to absorb inside of the brisket. All right, I got a sheet tray with a cooling rack. We're just going to move this over. Remember, there's still a lot of moisture in there. The rest of your seasoning is going to be the crumb for the top. Hit all those sections that you just kind of missed or that's a little light. All that cracked pepper, along with that coarse cracked pepper, that's going to be perfect. Look at that right there. That is absolutely perfect. All right, in the refrigerator, uncovered for another day. Let those seasonings come together, and we'll start smoking it tomorrow. Alrighty, we let it sit for about 10 hours. To my surprise, there's actually not really any moisture in the bottom, considering that it's been sitting in moisture for 10 days. So, pretty neat about that. All right, very quickly, our Lone Star Grills is up to temp. Today's pellet choice is basically 95%, give or take, B&B Championship pellets, along with hickory. I like to do the 3-to-1 ratio of pellets versus wood chips. You can only do that in the Lone Star. We have it hovering around 265, I think. I don't know. People say 250, people say 275, 225, and I'm like, what about the numbers in between? That's just what kind of person I am. So, Let's get the light switched around, which is a good thing.
All behind the scenes.
Yep. The cool thing about this is the first time I did a overnight brisket, I felt like we had to start so early because of the times and the daylights and all that stuff to be able to film. We're starting like basically 4.5 hours later today than we did our first time, so I feel extremely confident in what we got going on. I'm actually want to keep it just straight on the rack, and the reason being is because that crust is set on the bottom, and I don't want to worry about taking it off and putting it back on. It's a lot easier to move this rack if I need to move it. All right, the thermometer's in there. We're gonna shut the lid. No peeking, and then we'll see you tomorrow morning. Alrighty, it's the next morning. It's about 11 hours. To show you really quick the pellet situation. Probably got 25% left. When I refill this to keep the cook, I'll just go ahead and put regular pellets in there. I won't put the wood chips because we're going to be wrapping it. No need to use that extra. Oh yeah. Dang, that's beautiful. Look at that dang bark. Holy smokes. Jeez. All right. So the idea, typically I don't like aluminum foil because I think it steams, and I think when you're doing your briskets, I like the bark on the outside. But with pastrami and the history of pastrami, after you smoke it, you steam it, boil it, and all that stuff. So this is what we're gonna do. I have a little beef stock left over. Just add it to the bottom. And we're going to use foil completely. And I'm going to wrap it super tight and multiple times with foil. Because now we're going to start steaming it.
Boy, it smells like pastrami, doesn't it?
Well, that's a good thing. All right, fat side up. Fat side down, fat side up, fat side down. We're going to keep it just like that. We've adjusted temperature on the smoker. It's 275. The inside temperature, whoo, golly, that thing can smoke. The inside temperature is like 178. Seems like it's pretty much in the stall right now. It's been like that for about an hour. I'm looking to go a little bit longer. You know, like a lot of times I like my brisket about 200. Sometimes people go up to 205. We're gonna hit that mark just because I like the aluminum foil, I like the idea of the steaming and all that stuff. So let's raise it just a little bit more. And then once we hit that, we're gonna bring it out, let it rest. And then tonight we're gonna be having a fantastic pastrami sandwich. Alrighty, that time has come. Super excited. We've had it in the oven for about, what do we say, 6 hours, 5.5, 6 hours?
Yep.
So this is what I got. I got some sandwich mustard, which I absolutely love. I have this in the refrigerator all the time. And we got some good old Pepperidge Farm seeded rye bread. So here we go. First time I looked at it, I have not opened it up. I would like to say that the first time that we did an overnight brisket, I think we dried it out a little bit from just the cook time, the sheer cook time, and I think it was on the leaner side to begin with. I would be interested to see the difference. See if we can try to keep all those juices in there. Take that au jus right there with that tallow. The natural seams right through there. You can see it when it jiggles. No pressing the meat down, no nothing.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. That is absurd. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I want that fat part too. I'll save this for you. There's no comparison.
It's-
That might be the best bite in barbecue. Golly dang. Holy smokes. I don't know if I've ever had something that good. This is not that dry barbecue. Let me show you the flat right here. What was that, 3 or 4 slices in? Now that ain't overcooked. That is juicy as all get out.
That is perfect.
Broned. Look at that. I think, in my personal opinion,
Golly.
it might be a hair sweet. I think we added a 1/3 cup of brown sugar, maybe a 1/4 cup. But that is the only complaint. It's heavily seasoned, which is what I wanted. Mustard on both sides or just one?
Just one. Oh.
A little bit of the flat. That lean meat. Come back in here with a little bit of the point. I will just use those pieces that we already got. We'll slice right here. Because I'm going to refrigerate this overnight. And then tomorrow we're going to make a pastrami Reuben. And we're going to put that on the Flat Top King. If I just had that dang deli paper, cut that joker right in half. Oh yeah.
Was it worth the like 12-day process?
Yeah. Yeah,
is-
I would
it is
adjust
good.
the seasoning. I wouldn't season it as heavily. But I like the seasoning mix. I would cut back a hair on the sugar. Oh my God. If it, so I want to say something that's going to get me kicked off of the internet. It's right up there to the ones we had. Like, they're uniquely different. There's no doubt about it. You're not going to take the crown away from some of them. But for around here and for around what we had, being as fresh as this is, taste that right there and
Oh,
let
you
me
mean
know.
the ones in New York?
Yeah. I know what you're going to say. Oh, but I'm telling you, side by side, as tender as this is and the flavorings,
That rye bread perfectly complements it. Golly. Golly. It's almost like you should have a cooking show. The spicy mustard and the kind of tang from the rye bread.
I think the Lone Star did an outstanding job of producing enough smoke to where you would never guess. I mean, that is, I have no idea what kind of cooking equipment they smoke with, but that put a smoke on it like no other. The brine worked out well. It's my first time doing a pastrami from scratch. I am over the moon. I think this is probably one of the better briskets I've ever cooked. I think it's one of the better briskets that have ever come off one of my pieces of equipment. And I do think that the brining, the pastrami, I think I can tweak it a little bit. There's no doubt about it. Cut back on a little bit of the amount of seasoning and cut back on that sweetness. And I think it's a 10 out of 10. I wouldn't say I'm speechless. I've always got something to say. But this is probably one of the better sandwiches I've ever made on my deck.
Agreed.
The tenderness, the flavor, the contrast of tartness from the mustard and the raw bread. Obviously, that goes on a pastrami. This is one of the better dishes I've ever made. So the question is it worth it? Yes. I want to do it again immediately. Like, I would go buy a brisket today and go through another. We only did it for 10 days, 9 days. So if we need to go that long again to have something this good, then I think it's well worth it. I would cook this and give it away just for the enjoyment of knowing that somebody else gets to taste it. So if there's another cut of meat out there you guys want to try this on, let me know. I'll do it. I'm ready and willing to go the long road, knowing that we can create something like this, because there's no looking back now. Once you have great, then you know you can replicate it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share it with your friends. Oh.